that being said, welcome the YouTube audience to NODWIN Valorant Challenger South Asia, driven by Hyundai with our styling partner Philips OneBlade. We've got True Rippers and Aster Army walking up on the stage, but at the start we've got Kaizen and Wink showcasing themselves.
Kaizen and Wink, both of them have been the superstars of their particular teams. You saw Kaizen pick up one of the most impressive aces. In fact, I think it was the first ace of the tournament that Kaizen showed us with his KO on Ascent. Up next are Techno and Kishi, and I'm glad that we get to see Techno back in the server. He's kind of been on and off the team. He's been their sixth man, so he hasn't really been present for every single game, but you know who's been present? It's been RU. The IGL, he's been leading by example.
Exactly. Now, speaking about Aster Army, hopefully one of the main problems for Aster Army sometimes can be their jitters when they're facing against a tournament. We have seen a lot of those showcases as well. We have seen that jittery aim too, but hopefully today they're going to be able to calibrate all of that. Hopefully they're going to be able to get over all of that stuff, and we're going to be seeing a complete new Aster Army inside this tournament. I mean, with the way they have been looking against Reckoning Esports, it's understandable. They were looking quite phenomenal, but at the same time, they have revealed some of their prime strategies all the way in group stage already, so that means Aster Army will need to try and bring up something new inside the playoffs, because True Rippers is one of those teams that'll do their research and will try to boil you down. So you got to make sure you've got new stuff updated every single time.
Imagine if this would happen to pick up maps, yeah? Imagine if you played rock, paper, scissors to decide who goes first in the map leader. That would make things a bit interesting.
Kind of cool. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Honestly, I mean... But you know what? Jokes apart, these guys are already gathered up. They're talking to each other, and let's see what the map's gonna be. What the map veto is gonna be looking like. And for a split second, we saw the map in front of us, and it seems like Crips we're gonna be heading on forward towards Haven. I'm quite excited for that, but still, I want to see the bans. Is split banned or not? That's my huge question and a huge concern for True Rippers.
Yeah, I think the map veto's already been spoiled for us, so at least we know the first map. Yeah, going up next, I would really like to see whether Split is in the map pool or not. Split has been one of the strong points for Aster Army. If True Rippers ban it, I think that would be a really targeted one, and I would be happy for it. That being said, if Aster Army can target pick up Icebox, I think it would really work for them. True Rippers have been very experimental on that sort of a map, so if they actually pick it up, it might just give them an instant win. Oh, never mind, True Rippers ban it instantly. Cool, cool.
Ooh, so True Rippers is one of those teams that have been experimenting quite a lot on the map of Icebox, and it seems like they've realized the fact that their Icebox isn't that strong, so you might as well go and ban that map first, and True Rippers is going to pick Haven. As I said, I'm a little scared about the map veto, considering Aster has been looking really dominant on Split, but instead, they're going to go ahead and pick the map of Lotus. Crips, you remember once I said this thing where if you are a team that is the team of underdogs, and if you're looking to take down a giant Goliath in front of you, you might as well face him on a battleground, which is quite newer. So it seems like Aster Army might just want to bring the same strategy in here too, but maybe I can be completely wrong. Maybe True Rippers as well is pretty solid on this map.
Yeah, you never know, man, because you've never seen True Rippers play on Lotus, so I think it's going to be a surprise pick. I really hope True Rippers are prepared for this one. Just because we haven't seen it from them doesn't necessarily mean they're not prepared for it.
Let's see, moving on forward, taking a look at the Agent Select. I'm quite stoked for this, considering it is the map of Haven. We're not going to see a lot of new changes out there. Kaizen, as always, is going to go ahead and stick with the Jet. Pretty much basic composition. That's what I'm expecting, and that's what we're probably going to be seeing inside the game. But how is that going to be played in the game? That's a huge question, considering it's a new stage. Playoffs is the name of the game, where you will be having 2 chances to try and bounce back, but the second chance will be a little bit too dangerous, so you would not want to find yourself in the lower brackets. Try and make yourself consistent in the upper brackets itself. With that being said, the map of Haven is going to be starting soon enough. True Rippers versus Aster Army. We're going to kick things off on the first map, and that's going to be the map of Haven, where the pistol round's going to be the one to kick things off. Aster Army on the defending side, True Rippers on the attacking side. Crips,
this is going to be fun. True Rippers pick up this map for themselves, and they start off on attack, so that means they get to decide how this map begins. And if history holds any witness, then True Rippers are the kind of team that doesn't really stop after planting the spike. They want to go all the way inside. Now, we've seen them do it on Pearl, we've seen them do it on Ascent. Can they pull off something similar on Haven? It would be something foolhardy if they go for a really aggro strat like that. Most of the times when you over-aggress on Haven, it doesn't really pan well for you.
Now look, speaking about the consistency factor on both the sides, True Rippers, they've got Disrupt. This man is one of those players, if you find him in a 1-on-2 clutch, there's a high chance he's going to be pulling it out. That's the amount of trust Disrupt has gained upon himself. On the other hand, you've got a man like Doxer, who's been able to frag out consistently at the same time his utility utilization has been on the point. Now the first map, Haven, it's quite familiar to all of us, but on the other hand, the map of Lotus, we haven't really seen that being played a lot of those times in South Asia. Maybe we've seen 2 times in the past the map of Lotus, but this 3rd time in the playoffs, I'm quite stoked. I would really want to see what the composition is going to be looking like on that map. Before now, it seems like we've got a technical pause right off the bat, Crips.
Yeah, but luckily it won't last for too long, and we're gonna get started. Recon dots exchange. This a very interesting setup. There's not just an alarm bot on A long, but there's 2 defenders guarding it, so they really want to double down on this area. Aster don't want to let A long go, but they left A shot relatively unguarded, so that's a big red flag.
This is quite interesting. They've got themselves spread out all over the place. One player's already on the A shard. That's going to be in the name of Kazin. Then you've got the KJ waiting all the way up in mid, outside garage. Quite an interesting setup, quite an interesting default on the attacking side. That's what we're seeing so far. Aster Army spots out all the 3 players right in front of him. This is where the lurk now is going to come in active. You do see Kazin sneaking his way all the way to the A site. He's found himself quite a clear pathway. Wimp as well gets spotted all the way up in mid, but this is where Aster Army will probably welcome the rest of the players that are trying to walk in their crosshairs. Their entire strategy works against them. True Rippers, things are now starting to fall off. Wimp all by himself in the B site is going to catch one, but that's all he's going to get.
Sheesh, I was actually kind of skeptical about the Aster Army setup over there because they had no KJ util placed towards garage or B. So in case True Rippers decide to go in any of those regions, they might be able to get through undetected. And the moment Wim tried to climb up, I was kind of paranoid that he's going to catch someone off guard. But there was a recon dot thrown his way and they detected him instantly. And then look at that bait smoke setup. That smoke that you see on A long is the kind of smoke that an Omen puts up when the defenders team wants to take A long control, not when they've already taken it. So it kind of baits True Rippers into a false sense of security. It kind of tells them that Aster Army isn't pushed up as deep as they were. And then the frenzy of Doxer just mows them down.
I like that quick adjustment from Aster Army. I mean, once again, they didn't really know that Kazen's already pushed up all the way to A-Link, but it's just an adjustment that came into play out of nowhere, unknowingly, but it worked out pretty fine with them. With that being said, A-Side's going to be the take it to go around as usual. It's going to be a clean up for Aster Army. Another round on the bank, another round on the board. With that being said, now this is where we're going to see the Vandals and the Phantoms on the board. On the other hand, Aster Army are going to go for the bonus.
I'm kind of sad that nobody picked up Doxer's Phantom from Heaven. I mean, it's not in a spot where True Rippers can steal it, and it's also in a position where Wimp can get to by updrafting easily, so yeah, maybe you can just retrieve the Phantom, but hey, then again, it's not that big of a deal. You can always just let the bonus go. I mean, that's what technically is supposed to happen, but True Rippers haven't really shown us something out of the world yet. They haven't really gone for something wild. Maybe this is the round where they bring up the strat book.
Yeah, and as soon as you say that, something wild, we've got a wild technical pause in front of us, Crips. I guess the world wild doesn't really work that well. But, ladies and gentlemen, listen, the reason why technical pause is on the board is because you got to get all the bad luck out of the way before the day starts, right? We've got a huge day in front of us. We've got a long day ahead of us. It's the playoffs. This is where we're starting things off, and we don't really want the technical pauses to be there while the matchup's starting to get interesting. So we might as well get rid of those technical pauses as quick as possible. But, Crips, I mean, so far, we have dialed on the map of Haven. It's one of the favorite maps inside the entire South Asian region. That's what we've been seeing in most of the matchups being played. There have been a couple of BO3 series where we've been seeing that Haven being banned, and that's quite an interesting decision. But so far, once again, we're seeing those comfort bans and those comfort picks from the team.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised that True Rippers decided to ban Icebox, and I'm happy that they did it because up until now, they refused to stick to the standard Icebox composition. They were adamant on bringing some sort of innovation. They were adamant on bringing Reyna into the mix on Icebox, and now they've banned it altogether. So maybe True Rippers have really completed a full circle of life over there when it comes to Icebox. That being said, I'm surprised that Lotus was allowed to float through. True Rippers ban Icebox, that was kind of like a self-targeted ban, you know? You're like, yeah, we're just not gonna do good on it, and you don't want to let the opponents pick it up either, so you just go for it right off the bat.
I mean, Aster Army, they defeated Reckoning Esports 13-9 on Icebox, and considering how True Rippers' run was on the map of Icebox, so yeah, I would say that's a pretty good decision from True Rippers just to ban out Icebox, pretty much just throw all the bad luck out of the way as quick as possible right off the bat, and then starting things off on Haven. I mean, Haven, as I said, is one of the favorite maps, so we're going to be expecting both the teams on the equal ground. We're going to be expecting it a fair matchup and pretty much a close matchup as well, unless some of the team, or at least some players, they mess up pretty bad, and then it might just be a complete one-sided matchup. Nothing can be said just yet. Only the first 2 rounds have happened. True Rippers, they've started off with Aster Army, they've started off with a nice fashion for themselves, but this is where the Vandals and the Phantoms will be brought to the table. So this is where the true test begins.
Yeah, and the fact that Aster Army ban out Pearl is kind of it's a testament to the fact that they have done their research. They know how True Rippers like to play. And that's exactly why you can see that Aster Army have changed their Killjoy setup as well. There was basically no KJ util towards B and Garage in the first pistol round. They know that True Rippers never go B in the pistol. And now they've placed quite a lot of util over there because they are aware that True Rippers like taking their default slowly. So they might as well stack up the B side and then play towards the extremities with just their initiator utility.
I mean, Zoa and Breach, they're playing so close to the links. I mean, if it's going to be a B-side take, there's a high chance that the rotations are going to be there pretty quickly. You do see Wimp right outside the B-site, trying to lurk around, maybe catch someone slipping by, but that's not going to be the case. Wimp, he needs to play this angle a little safe. If he gets caught off guard himself, things can be quite devastating and bad for True Rippers. But on the other hand, they get a quick stroll on the A site. Wimp on the mid, trying to catch someone off guard. Instead, he gives his position away. Does manage to find one. That's going to be the name of Doctor. But a nice shot from Wink to try and stop the momentum on the A side. True Rippers, they're trying their best to fight back. But now we're down to a 3-on-3 situation. Wink still managing to stay alive in the short area somehow. On the other hand, Kaizen fighting for his life.
Kohli being picked off kind of starts to ring the bells of danger for Aster Army. Now all the defenders are coming in from the back lines, either from short or from long. True Rippers aren't aware of this yet. They only know where Vink is. They don't know that Dominic has joined him. That's why they're focusing a lot towards the defender spawn. Both of them just playing inside the smoke. Techno spots out Wing. Still no sign of Dominic, but Aryu doesn't need any signs. He will put up signs of blood on the wall by painting it with his opponent's skulls.
A solid round from True Rippers. 2 guns were lost, but it's completely fine. Not a lot of damage being given away, so True Rippers, they're still going to be continuing on forward. Pretty solid in the upcoming round. And this was a round they really needed too. Considering how Aster Army have been playing so far, they're playing quite disciplined. The players are pushing up to the brim, but they're not exactly overextending. Instead, they're just holding it down in the close quarters.
Yeah. I mean, there were signs of deja vu in the previous round. They were waiting to catch Wimp towards B. They know he lurks a lot in that area. They also deliberately kept Wink towards A short rather than backing him up from CT. And that's because True Rippers always struggles whenever they don't clear out A short like that. So they're playing to their weaknesses. They are aware about what makes True Rippers bleed, and they just want to use those orifices and make them bleed even more. But I'm kind of feeling scared for Wimp now. He doesn't have a dash back, and he's already very low on health. The only thing that can save him is potentially a flash, and it doesn't really matter because Disrupt will spray everybody down. Right there.
Wow, this is what I'm talking about. Disrupt, a burning torch of consistency. Someone you can rely on all the time. This man is just too good. Always crisp, clean with his aim. And now he's pretty much just single-handedly dismantled the enemy team, handicapped them down to just a 2-man squad. Doxer and Dominic left over. And the main mission for these 2 guys has to be to save the guns. On the other hand, they've still got 1 man on the lurk, on the hunt. It's going to be in the name of Wimp. is all the way outside the A-man area, just looking out for the players, but is not going to spot out anyone. On the other hand, the defenders are still inside garage and C site. So Aster Army, they might just have a quick save for themselves unless they get caught over here.
I hope they can save their weapons. Aster Army won't have weapons to throw in the next round. Even if they kill a couple of True Rippers members, it's fine. True Rippers can afford to purchase weapons again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that gun lost in the hands of Dominic, that's a costly one.
Quite an interesting decision from Coley. Instead, he's going for a force. Spending 1,900 credits. Let's see how it's going to pan out for this man. On the other hand, Vink's got a Blade Storm available, so he's going to go and buy the heavy shield for himself. And usually, if the Blade Storm is able to find good value amongst itself, there's a high chance we might just see a Thrifty coming in. Most of the Thrifties we've seen so far, it's the Jet putting up a lot of impact on the board. And Wink, he gets unchecked all the way down mid. This is huge for Aster. They might just find a freebie.
And in case something goes wrong, there's 2 more players available over there to help him out. Wink gets away scot-free. And he repositions towards the mouth of B again. He just wants True Rippers to challenge him over there. The rest of his teammates are also present to back him up. Docs or Coley, each with a piece of their own, are ripping True Rippers apart. And here comes the carnage. Everybody descends down towards the bottom of mid. And Aster Army take the round for themselves.
What an impressive round from Aster Army. Didn't expect them to win this one, but somehow they did with a good coordination amongst themselves. The communication mattered quite a lot. I mean, it did seem like quite a chaotic affair in mid especially, but somehow it worked out in the favor of Aster Army, and now they have won that entire round in themselves. We talked about this, them not really having the superior weaponry, but still able to come out on top like that. That's huge. Aster Army, after that round, they should have a decent amount of economy gathered up, and now they should be stacked up for the upcoming round. Blade Storm popped out from Kazan once again. Outside B. Doesn't spot anyone. They are starting to traverse towards the C site. Kazan gets tacked up by the Owl drone. Things are not looking that great for this man, but he instantly finds Wink. That's a good shot. Wink being shut down. Kazan able to find that opening, the entry that they were really looking out for, and he finds another one. Kazan is still alive somehow, but eventually he'll be taken down. Aster Army, now they start to make the trades happen back and forth in their favor, and we're down to a 2-on-2 scenario. True Rippers. The players are now starting to get ripped apart. Are you down to only 18 HP?
Bot coming back.
Yikes, that was a very, very risky push from True Rippers. And they were so stubborn. They were detected not just by the SOA drone, but all the pieces of util that were present on Aster Army, they used it. Fault line, aftershock, everything to stop them in their tracks. And even the spike was dropped in a very precarious spot. If it wasn't for Ario's ultimate, then there was no way the True Rippers could have ducked the spike back out of cover going out. But now they've been given another chance. Double smokes placed right outside of defender spawn. This kind of makes it precarious for Aster Army to enter from that region. But then again, they're not coming from CT now, are they? Both coming in from long. Wimp trying to buy time with the nano swarms, and the fake tap goes out. This will give away his position. There's no way they can kill Wimp. They will have to go ahead and kill Ario at the very least, who's already sneaking in from behind, and they don't know it. He gives away a footstep. Dominic still doesn't check. Goalie at least. He looks in his general direction, but the spike is half gone, and with it, the round as well.
A really nice round squeezed out by True Rippers. Well done from them. Wimp was the last man to survive. Even Coley's going to be able to get away with a gun in the hand, but a good note for Aster Army is that they've got the Hunter's Fury available. In the future round, that thing could definitely be utilized to try and pull something more valuable out. Maybe stop the planner. A lot of things are possible with that ultimate, but this wrap-up from Argue was absolutely brilliant. And True Rippers pretty much were able to secure that round just because of Argue, that single play from this man.
And I was kind of afraid that he gave away his footsteps, but it didn't seem to bother anyone on Aster Army at all. They didn't check for it regardless. An inconsistent buy on Aster Army this time. They've got a Vandal on Wing, a Phantom on Doxer. The rest of them are on eco weapons. For True Rippers, though, their economy seems to be budding. Not just weapons, but also spare $1,000 in the bank. So they can afford to buy next round as well if they lose this one.
Yeah, they've got the Rolling Thunder too on Disrupt, so that's huge. Wing's position gets compromised. Man's pushed up quite deep A main. On the other hand, 3 players are now starting to stack up outside C. They're starting to make their way, and Wimp, as always, this man's able to catch someone lurking. He finds Kishu this time, but on the other hand, Aster Army, they bounce back on the C site. Dominic's able to find some nice, crispy headshots. He gets another one in his hands, but and now Aster Army, they're just starting to line up the opponents like it's nothing. Last man to go in the name of Techno. Pull off anything, it seems quite tough, but instead, Techno is out here connecting some incredible shots. He gets a 2K for himself. Let's see if he's going to be able to clutch it out. Sounds pretty tough.
He knows where goalie is. Shot that to his face, and finally Wimp, who comes in to save the day. Jesus, that was quite a nice round from Aster Army, especially from Dominic. Jiggling in and out of his own smokes, he just used it to buy himself some more space. He put one smoke towards the mouth of C Long, and then another one in between the boxes. Now, the smoke over there, most defenders don't really use that smoke. That's the kind of smoke that the attackers put up so that they can plant the spike safely without actually having to clear the backside, and to just make sure that whatever crossfires exist between the defenders are broken up. But this guy, he is just so smart. He knows that the jet of True Rippers likes to dash in quickly, and they do like clearing out backside with their bodies rather than just with their utility.
Yeah.
So he just smokes it off and creates more space for himself. Isolates 1v1s when, under normal circumstances, he would have been pushed down with multiple members, mowed down easily. So really good presence of mind from Dominic. Using a smoke which is objectively bad for him, but still turning it into an advantage.
A tactical timeout from True Rippers. Don't exactly know what these guys are discussing it out, but C site, it hasn't really been working out in their favor that much so far. And maybe this is to call out what exactly can be done in this scenario. True Rippers, they're on a complete eco. Pulling off a thrifty sounds like a dream, but there's a chance. And where there's a hope, anything's possible. So far, the scoreline's not evened out, but it's not too far away as well. The opponents are quite easily reachable, and Wink is going to straight up send it down mid. One player gets spotted out. Wink, as always, on the aggressive page. He finds 2 with a single spray down. One more to go, but instead, Vink is not going to overextend. He falls back.
Yeah, and if Vink didn't get them, the Hunter's Fury would have. The recon dot revealed so much. Aster Army want to leave nothing to chance. They know that True Rippers are on an eco, so they might have expected a super fast rush from them. And they're like, you know what? We don't want to give you the chance to rush down. We'll do it ourselves. And Wink still getting all the frags, still getting so much done. Almost has his Blade Storm back.
Wow.
Not even almost, he has it back now.
You're terrible.
Aster Army really building up their economy.
I like that they're moving fearlessly.
Oh, they're
And
all.
it's just lovely. It's lovely. They're not scared of True Rippers. And that's what I was scared of, right? When I started talking about Aster Army, we have been seeing them in those jitters sometimes, but now it seems like they've gotten rid of those jitters, especially after that Reckonings matchup. They're looking, in a way, another level. The confidence this team has acquired after that matchup, it's incredible and impressive at the same time. On the other hand, True Rippers, they've got a decent amount of utilities available. Also ultimates. They've got Rolling Thunder, Lockdown, and also the Hunter's Fury. Let's see how they're going to utilize it, taking the side control. This round's quite essential.
Yeah, but even if they use either of these ultimates over here, it's gonna be quite futile because there's barely anyone defending it. Doxer is just waiting for the alarm bot to get activated so he can then start spraying down. Oh, but Geisen shoots him down through the smoke. Alright then, that's a freebie. Unfortunately for True Rippers, both these teams have just played Ring Around the Rosies with them. It was only Doxer defending A, the rest of them are entering back from A lobby. And the one man who's been assigned to stop this is Techno.
3 players on the flank. Techno not spotted. Will he find out the last player? He indeed does. Techno kills all 3 of them from the back lines. And Aster Army, they get wiped out with a flawless round from True Rippers. That tactical timeout definitely worked out in their favor. As I said, C side isn't really working out so far, but A side is looking quite vulnerable, and that's what they press on over and over again. They did use a lockdown, and that was quite an effective one too. True Rippers, a solid round from them. All props to Techno.
Amazing stuff. And I actually admire his trigger discipline. held onto his itchy finger for so long, let the Omen pass, let the Jet pass, and then he finally killed the Breach, destroying Aster Army's retake. It would have been a very successful retake. It's usually difficult to defend that sort of a push,
Spike
but
down
Wink this
A.
time having to take the burden upon himself. His wingman Coley down. Drone in his face. You know he wants to peek it. You know he wants to challenge this one again, but it's Kishi who does it this time. No counter util. Kaizen stuck into the site, and while Wink is busy looking towards Kaizen, Ryu slays him.
Spike planted.
Kaizen's doing his job perfectly fine. Doctor on the flank once again. Aster Army, now they're really getting deactivated. True Rippers, they're able to read into them like an open book. A-side's quite vulnerable, and it needs to be patched up ASAP. Aster Army, 2 players to go. It's a 2-on-3 scenario. Definitely pullable. And that's what it seems like they're trying to do here. Ryu will get the trade upon his teammates, and now it's a 1-on-2 scenario. Doxer's the man left alive. He's also got a decent amount of utility kit available, but it's not going to matter. Wimp will clean him up. Another round in the favor of True Rippers, and now they equalize the scoreline.
Both these teams are just going toe for toe against each other. There was a moment where the mid-aggression for Aster Army was working out so beautifully. But now it just seems to be backfiring. Every time they try to go in for a retake via the back lines, it never works out for them. They have to call this tactical timeout. They realize that the one strat that was working for them is no longer going to serve them any more purpose. Time to hit the drawing board again. And this drawing board is painted red. Dripping in blood. Crimson red blood. Which is kind of cool because both their jerseys have a little bit of red in them. But hey, I'm not talking colors anymore.
Heavy talking being done from the side of Aster. They're realizing that on the A side, there's a huge loophole that needs to be patched up. Aster Army, somehow they're always giving away those entries to Kaizen, not really able to capitalize on what's going on in front of them. And I think so the only way to counter that entire aggression from True Rippers is fire to fire. You need to try and resist as hard as possible. You need to send the players in the front lines to try and cut off the entire aggression right off the bat.
I mean, the aggression has been working for Aster Army up until now. And every time they fight True Rippers head-to-head on mid, they mostly win it. It's only in these backline retake situations where Aster Army kind of stumble. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore this HUD prompt of around win and continue casting the round as if nothing has happened. A fake from True Rippers towards the C site, which Aster Army kinda bite. The rotation from Doxo was there, but still, it's not a full commitment. At least they managed to cut off the aggression of Aster Army towards A-Link, and that leaves Wink as the only person over here who can stop this. He might just take one kill and fall back, but the question is, will he be allowed to escape?
He will be.
Yeah, he does.
He's got the Cloud Burst available. So with the visual denial, he manages to slip back. He's also got true updrafts available. If he wants, he can definitely stand on top of the box and maybe go for some heroic plays, some heroic shots. Once in a lifetime moment. Techno cuts off the flank. And now the Rolling Thunder's ready in the hands of Kishi. He's just waiting for the right moment. He's just waiting for the right call out. Rolling Thunder being popped. Wink is going to try and dash inside the side, and that's what he exactly does. A double up drafts in, but Kishi's able to find 2 incredible shots. Techno is trying his best to keep his team alive inside the run, and he finds a 3K for himself. Good trades from the side of True Rippers so far, and Coley now, the last glimmer of hope alive. The spike's ticking away, not a lot of time left over. 5-on-5 is the scoreline, and Techno is playing it off with nice patience, and in the end, Techno will close things off with a 4K. He steps up huge.
Oh my god, dude, what a chaotic round.
Yeah, exactly.
At the same moment, and then a 4th one a couple of milliseconds after that. And when you've got 4 ultimates active like that, at that point, all logic just leaves the room. It walks out on its own 2 feet, which it grew in that very second. And all it boils down to is trading. And my god, True Rippers are good at trading.
Yeah. They use the lockdown, the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, it's
Key
too much to even
ultimates.
keep track of in that 1 second.
Exactly.
A risky ultimate commitment.
Oh my god,
Window
what?
on a killing spree. Man's unstoppable. A last-minute cloudburst could have turned it into a one-way smoke of sorts, but Aryu has stuck this ultimate and he's now in the back lines. But unfortunately, nobody from Aster Army is offering him any fights. They're all deep inside A short or playing towards the default boxes. And if they're not on A, they're already trying to work their way up mid.
I told you, dude, the only way to cut this thing off is fire to fire. Push aggressive against the aggressive pusher True Rippers. Try and catch them off guard, and that's what exactly happened. Wimp managed to find 2 crucial kills in the name of Disrupt and Kaizen. These two guys have been wrecking havoc so far inside the matchup, not just in this matchup, inside VCSA. And if you're going to find a cure to shut him down, it's going to be the best thing you can ask for. Instead, Aryu this time. He finds a great way to open things up, and now it's all down to Techno with only 50 HP left over. This man's got some huge dreams. Let's see if he's going to be able to capitalize on those or not. 2 players in the front, but Dominic will wrap up from the back. Great job.
Is it just me, or do you feel like we've seen A-site attacks so many times in this half?
Yeah,
like,
because C-side isn't working out.
Yeah, but they didn't plan B at all. Like, they didn't even use it to chart a path down into its A lane with anything. The only thing we've seen from True Rippers so far in this half was Wimp lurking outside of B, but never really going in there. Which is quite nice, you know, they managed to cut off that rotation of Wimp. He's the one who's usually trying to disrupt everybody, trying to get a kill or two in the process when the defenders are, you know, rotating away and trying to catch them off guard. But they didn't let any of that happen this time at all, which is nice.
I mean, whenever they try to go to C side, it didn't really work out. We always saw Wimp outside the B side was able to slip away with one, but the instant trade from Aster Army was always there. So that means even the B side was not that easily to take over. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to talk about, but after this short break.
Hit for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Hit for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into the second half of the first map, Haven, where we're back to the roots. We're going to be starting things off the second half with the pistol round to decide the pace of the game. 6-6 was the first half. It's quite a neck-and-neck matchup so far.
Neck and neck, more like these guys are at each other's necks. They're at each other's throats. We've seen so many of these 4v4, 3v3 brawls, and it seems like we might just see one even now. A 4-man push out of A lobby for True Rippers. Meanwhile, Aster Army are knocking on the doors of Garage. The only person who can stop them over here is Wimp, and let's be honest, he has no hope of stopping them. The best thing he can do is deal damage. Doctor left to man the back lines, and Disrupt is able to get a kill or two. The Paranoia kind of rips this whole descent into chaos. And Kishi somehow comes out on top. A triple for the man. Jesus.
So far, we have seen absolutely chaotic rounds, Crips. I don't even memorize one single round being properly executed with not a lot of chaos. Instead, it's just been an all-out war out of nowhere. It's a quick burst on the site and then hope for the best. That's what it's been. Yeah, you can also call it controlled chaos sometimes.
Controlled chaos. Yeah, exactly what I was going for. It's like 20 seconds of silence followed by 8 kills.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep track of.
Target destroyed.
Unfortunately, human brains don't work that fast, ladies and gentlemen, but these guys are definitely able to bring those. Yeah, their fingers do. These guys are able to bring up these kills like it's nothing. 8 HP only left over, and Vimp is quite paranoid. He isn't even going for the stick. On the other hand, even his opponent's not peeking out. The patience this man has. Vimp is just going to give his life away at the end.
And Wink just simply not buying Vimp's bluff. He tapped the spike like 2-3 times, and none of those times Wink actually peeked out deep enough to take a look at the spike. He just sort of knew that Wimp is not going to stick this.
Spike down mid.
And look at that paranoia. That paranoia from the other side just kind of blinded everybody. Teammates, opponents, it discriminates between nobody. Everybody's blind, and when I say everybody, I mean nobody, because at that close range, you can still see people when you're nearsighted. So it's just an added element of chaos. It doesn't really contribute to the fight. It doesn't really give you an advantage. It's just there.
Yeah. Crips, look at the C site. There's no one holding it down. There's only one turret. And they're going to play it off of contact. C side is completely on retake.
Standing ahead.
It's an interesting setup indeed from True Rippers. But let's see how it works out. I mean, they lost the first round. It's just an eco round. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to be their primary setup throughout the entire game. But at least True Rippers will try to take as many guns as possible away from Aster Army. Are they going to be able to successfully do so? That's what we're here to find out. Gun being spatted. That's a good shot onto Kishi's head. He's gonna catch a little bit of hurt. And somehow Kazin, he finds that connection even though he's stunned out.
Oh, poor Kishi. He was stacked up with a lot of util. Now with nothing to initiate for Aster Army, they're gonna find it a little difficult. The only man with a gun in this round finds Valkyrie. Dominic and Aster.
One
my
enemy
goodness,
remaining.
these guys are actually making
Oh my god, what?
thing but disrupt. He's doing so much, and Kohli's about to rush him down, but the blinds are just so annoying. Kohli somehow manages to connect the shots again, but the damage is done. True Rippers pull off the Thrifty.
What even just happened in that round?
W Gaming, that's what happened, bro.
The flank just proved out to be massive, and then you see a man like Disrupt popping off once again. I told you, man, this man is one of the most deadly players inside South Asia so far. He's so good, and one of the players you can always rely on with your eyes closed. 100%.
Right
and now,
there.
with that Thrifty being won, True Rippers, they found themselves with a nice edge inside this matchup once again. 77 is the scoreline, and Whip! He catches Doxer slip by. Doxer saying bye-bye to this entire round for now. Aftershock being used from Disrupt to try and stop the plant, but that's not going to be the case. Wink gets the plant down, instantly dashes back. Aster Army, they're now positioning themselves in the post plant. They've got some weaponry that can definitely help them in the close quarters. But how much is the question? Few players are tacked up, and Kaysen finds a nice opening. This is the opening they can definitely capitalize on, and now slowly and steadily, True Rippers, they're inching the way in, and they're really just ripping the opponents apart. A good round in the hands of True Rippers. Eco not being able to convert, and it's a flawless round from True Rippers. Make it 8 on the board. One round lead from them.
True Rippers really the kind of team that don't just attack their opponents, they attack their wallets and their bank. They pull off the Thrifty and they deny it to their opponents as well. The only silver lining economically for Aster Army this round is the fact that they got the spike down, which means they can afford to buy weapons. But again, compromises made. All of them are on light armors, yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Dominic.
That's quite sad, right? You've got light armors on the board.
I mean, it doesn't really matter against Vandals, you're still gonna get tapped away, so it's fine. Oh my god, Jason, so relentless, and finally all that aggression countered by Kohli.
Kazin getting a little too ahead of himself. Should have at least stopped himself there. But instead, this man just dashed on forward like it's nothing. He's got no future. He just doesn't care. He's not scared of his opponents. He's ready to face death.
Head on.
And now they're down to a 4-man squad against a complete 5-man. True Rippers, they're pushing up against a full stack Aster Army. RU was able to find 3. He goes huge with that spray down. Manages to melt 3 players, and now Disrupt, as always, so fine with his utilities and his gunplay. He's going to find out 1 man. Kohli's the last man left to life. Wasn't really blinded by that. He's got 2 shock darts available, but doesn't really have the time to use it. True Rippers, they will sweep it off. Another round on the board.
Jeez, dude, these guys are like a bunch of bowling pins, and RU is the 10-pound metal ball. Sorry, not metal ball, the wrecking ball that's heading towards them. Techno dies, but this man just mows them down like there's no tomorrow. Yeah. And then the fault line catches everybody. Aster Army got bullied to oblivion in this round by the 2 imports.
That stack didn't really work out. They lined up on that 1 single spray, and they got melted. Operator. On Kaizen. Quite a slow start this time. We're not really seeing a lot of movement. Coley does have the recon dart available. Does he know that there's one player positioned in the cubby there?
I mean, you say that it's a slow round. Technically, it's still a fast one, but given the pace of this game, this seems slow in comparison.
What just happened?
Poor Disrupt got lasered down, but not all hope is lost yet. Wimp is in a position where he can crunch them, but now the hunter becomes the hunted. Aryu comes in to save him and kind of saves the day to some extent, but there's a flank upon the flanker, and Techno's in the back lines. Meanwhile, Wimp is deep inside CT, and the roles have been reversed. The attackers are now the defenders, and vice versa.
Take flight.
Oh boy. One-on-one scenario. One of the toughest clutch situations to pull off. Techno has got the Hunter's Fury available, but is probably not going to use it. Needs to find out the exact position the opponent is in, and Techno with that tap on him. What a fantastic shot. True Rippers. Another round, these guys are now starting to build a nice momentum. They're able to work off of it. And that's a really good thing. 10 rounds. On the other hand, Aster Army, they're stuck with 7.
And it's such an impressive feat from True Rippers when they're able to coordinate amongst all this chaos. First, there's the push out from Wimp. He kind of gets trapped towards Cubby. All the aggression from Aster Army towards Garage yields them the site, but then the reverse flank from Aryu. And then on top of that, there's Techno, who's working from the back lines. They're just playing ring around the rosies with each other. That's the best way I can use to sum up whatever happened in this round.
I would say Aster Army on their defending side looked really nice. I felt like they were really having that controlled aggression, but now on the attacking side, they're starting to overextend to the places where they really don't need to. True Rippers, on the other hand, even if they are losing out some players on the extension, they're still able to capitalize somehow and able to come out on top.
Yeah. And it's not just the chaos that they are mastering, it's the ability to make their opponents descend into that state of paranoia where they're just constantly looking everywhere. I mean, it's like, what, 20 seconds into the round and they're already worried about a flank.
Yeah. Aggression is the name of the game here, ladies and gentlemen. Rolling Thunder available in the hands of Kishi. Let's see how he's going to utilize it. On the other hand, only one more orb is needed for that lockdown. So Doxer, he just needs to get his hands on that one single orb that can help him secure the ultimate. Kaizen going to jump on top of the box. Was not able to find out anyone. Aster Army slowly and steadily able to sneak in. They've got the cubby control. Nothing much more than that. Operator's not really able to find the mark. And Rolling Thunder being used from both the sides. It's a counter one as well. Disrupt was able to find one, but that's all he's going to get. It's a 3-on-3 scenario. Trades did happen back and forth, but now it's starting to fall out even more. Aryu will find one in the end. Coley as well. He's managing to shut down Aryu. It's just an absolute chaotic situation on the C site. It's looking like a graveyard. And now Techno's the last man left over from True Rippers.
Not even offering him any 1v1s. Doxer playing so smartly around that corner. Finally, Aster Army were able to sum up some defense. Muster together their strength. And this could be the piece of resistance that they required all this time.
So chaotic once again. It's like the gunfights are just breaking out of nowhere. And the kill feeds just starts dancing.
Yeah, it's a pinstripe of red and green.
It's like a domino effect. One player goes down, instantly the kill feed will just start falling off instantly.
Yeah.
One after the other.
Dude. This time it's
Chaos.
slightly slow. I mean, slow in comparison, mind you. This whole game has been just not just a roller coaster. but
Mind-blowing,
a
I think so
roller
will be the
coaster
right
on
word.
yeah.
You
Look
should
Look
run.
at the push-outs from True Rippers, my goodness. You got Wimp already deep towards window. You've also got Aryu pushing out of C long. And in order to deal with all this aggression, Aster Army have placed Dominic towards T-spawn all the way back there. Lockdown forces True Rippers to clear the site. vacating it temporarily, but I don't think they're gonna let them plunge so easily. Oh no, the smoke missed. That's a bit of a stretch, but luckily nobody from Aster dead yet.
I mean, at least they've got the site control, so that's a positive thing you can look at. The counter recon dart's going to be there on the board as well, but Aster instead, they're able to find the opening in their favor, but Disrupt, he strikes once again like a deadly shark. And he's swimming in the blood of his opponents. Kaysen was able to find one of his own as well, and now it's all down to Dominic. The last glimmer of hope from the back lines manages to find one, teleports on top of the box, and Disrupt, he knows. He sniffs his opponent, and he gets a 4K somehow. Even he's surprised.
Yeah, I mean, Aryu's been the guy who's been doing all these weird Omen teleports. Not weird, okay? The brave ones. But whenever Dominic tries to do the same, Aryu is like, nah, bro, nah, you're not pulling off a flex ninja on me.
How did Disrupt not die? That's my main question, my prime question. Look, he kills both of them, then turns around, kills the third guy. I mean, that reaction is valid. For him to even be staying alive in that scenario where he dropped down out of Haven, it's just mind-boggling, to be honest. I'm not able to wrap my head around that.
Ooh, this time Dominic pulls off an Aryu. A huge commitment. His teammates aren't here yet, and Tekno knows exactly where he is. Yeah, Aster needed to follow up on the back of Dominic's TP. And that's exactly why Dominic's dead now. But hey, at least they got the site, right? So that's something.
Yeah. They've got their hands on one of the Vandals, and Kishi is the man who's got his hands on it. Aftershock being used to try and suppress the push, at least for a little bit more. But Kaysen's able to get away with one. That's a good opening being found. Kishi still not really having a clear line of sight on Kaysen, but it's not going to matter. Wink is now starting to pop off. He's finding those crucial connections on the hits, and he's cracking open every single skull of True Rippers. Gets a good 4K, and now an ace left over. Aryu misses that crucial shot, and it's not going to be an ace because it got stolen away by Kishi. How will you steal that away? But at the end of the day, it's a team game. It's a team effort. Yeah.
And this is the first time that Aster are the ones who are pulling off a thrifty. Usually it's True Rippers. If you're keeping the scores of 50s, it's True Rippers have pulled off 2 of them. And Aster now have steal all the momentum away from True Rippers. Great stuff though. I really appreciate this game. These games are just so chaotic, and that's exactly what I signed up for today. Aster holding nothing back, pressing W all the way into the site, and hey, the smokes were not the most well-timed smokes, but they still worked out for them. True Rippers making a rare error in their rotations, a rare occasion where they are late to the site, where they are late to the party. And the repercussions are huge.
Speaking of Wink, this man has been able to perform out of his mind today.
Oh yeah, true.
In the matchup of Reckoning Esports, the overall score, Wink was sitting all the way at the bottom. He didn't really have a lot of impact in that matchup. I mean, he did have those impactful frags, but once again, I mean, being a duelist, he didn't really have as much as an impact as we all expect him to have. But today, he's performing exceptionally well. He's doing really good. 21 kills, 15 deaths. He's miles away from his teammates and his opponents as well.
And he better maintain that distance. True Rippers can steal the momentum away in an instant, and with the amount of ultimates they have available, it is very much possible. Wink now, having the responsibility of shutting down the seaside attack, does really well to kill Tekno. The rest of them also get revealed by the recon, so this C push by True Rippers has been thwarted. Aster respond by taking B instantly, and now the baiting game begins. Instead of playing towards the bottom of mid, Aster decide to play from A link instead, which is a good response because they know that several members of True Rippers are down C long.
Yeah, but I'm a little worried about Aryu here. They have gotten the A-Link control, but they've got no clue that there's a man sneaking in from the A-Link side, and he might just be able to get away with some free kills. But Kishi too might just be greeted with some free kills for himself. He's not going to be expected here. He finds one. The second one will be denied, at least for now. As I said, Aryu as well is a man who needs to be worried about, and he gets another one in the hand. Aryu with a 3K. At least so far, it seemed like he's managed to save the day for his team, and Disrupt and RU, they're just going to run away. They've got nothing to do with the spike. They're just going to go ahead and save the guns for his teams. A wise decision being made from True Rippers, and I would say that's a solid one. They got their hands on the operator, and now Kaizen's going to wreak havoc.
Yeah, I mean, I was almost worried that True Rippers are going to pull off yet another thrifty. This would be the third thrifty round of this game if True Rippers manage to pull it off. But they walk away with it, with a Vandal in the hands and an operator as well. So yeah, it's not that bad. Plus, they've still got the big ultimates.
Keep it cool. That's how you survive.
Although I don't think Wimp can deploy the lockdown yet. Kohli will instantly counter it with a Hunter's Fury of his own.
Yeah.
This time, Astrami once again hitting B quite aggressively with all the control. A smoke towards A-Link, and that's it. No vision blocking towards C-Link. It's a bit of a risk. Aster tried to fake tap the spike, only about to fall back instantly.
The amount of utilities they used on the B side, it's incredible. They baited out so many utilities, especially the breach utils right there. Rolling Thunder being used from both the sides. It's a counter Rolling Thunder from Disrupt, and he's not able to find the kill, and that's the problem. Instead, Wimp from the corner, he cleans all of them up. A solid round from Wimp. And True Rippers, they secure yet another round in their hands.
Every time there's been a Rolling Thunder used, the other breach also sends it down. There's never been a single round in this entire game where only one Rolling Thunder gets used. Both of them have been using it to respond to each other with like that.
Dude, this game is just being out of my mind, Crips. I'm not gonna lie. It's really tough for me to grasp what exactly is going on. Because if you do see those ultimates stack up, you need to realize one thing. There will be that one buy round where all those ultimates will be dumped at the same time.
Yep. And dumped is the correct word because they are being used helter-skelter. I mean, that Aster Army Rolling Thunder, it kinda teams on one of the players as well. So yeah, it kind of tells you how desperate these teams are, and now that True Rippers is within touching distance of the victory, they will do almost anything to keep Aster Army away. A very early commitment of the lockdown.
Ooh!
But Kaizen! A double kill! That's what will set things in motion. A retaliation plan from Aster Army, but they can't do anything. Kaizen popped the Blade Storm, and he might as well pop their skulls as well. Aster Army have lost all their edge. Kissy had a lot of utility on him, and he dies without expending any of it.
One enemy remaining.
This is huge from Techno.
Silence.
He manages to find yet another one player, and Hunter's Fury being invested from Techno as well. True Rippers, they were on the map point, and now they will seal the deal on the map of Haven. Perfectly done from them, and we are going to move on forward to another map, the second map of the series, which will be the map of Lotus. But for that, you guys will need to wait out a little bit more because... oh man, what was this map? You did talk about this, Crips. You said today the heat's going to be amped up, but I think so. Saying this heat is a little bit of an overstatement. It's more than heat. What do you say? As if like you're sitting on top of the sun.
Yeah, dude. It's as if you're sitting on top of the sun. And if the sun was a person, then the Lord himself has descended down in this server. Jeez, they were like backstabs upon backstabs upon backstabs. There were so many occasions where these teams were just running circles around each other. And every round just seems to boil down to something like this. There's 20 seconds of silence where the teams sneak up on each other. And then within a matter of 2 or 3 seconds, 7 to 8 people are dead. That's how chaotic this was.
Exactly, dude. And it's not just 1 or 2 rounds. It's pretty much all
every
the
round,
freaking rounds. That same thing happening. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to push to a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hit for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the wings, I get it in.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Making dreams come true and memories happier.
I know my destiny. I know my destiny. I know my destiny. I know my destiny.
You know, with that being said, it's time for us to welcome the YouTube audience. Welcome back to Valorant Challenger South Asia, driven by Orangutan with our styling partner Philips OneBlade. We're gonna move on forward towards the Asian select of the map Lotus, where Kishi is gonna go for a Phoenix and Kohli will go for a Breach. Quite an interesting composition. They have got a lot of flashes.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
What?
True Rippers better bring their sunglasses. I mean, yeah, the Breach in Sky is available on True Rippers as well, but Aster have 6 flashes in total. Jeez. But there is a point of concern, though. Even though the Sky gives you some information of sorts, it doesn't really scan out your opponent's position. Yeah, it doesn't pinpoint. And Lotus is one of those maps where the angles are so weird, it cannot tell you where your opponent is exactly. Unless you somehow block it with a barrage of smokes, it's not going to help you pinpoint your enemy positions. But, yeah, the difference in controllers can be quite devastating. Dominic, with his setup, can actually carpet bomb a site with utility, especially with the gravity wells. Audi, on the other hand, probably doesn't have the option of doing so, so he's going to have to rely on his paranoia quite a lot.
Careful now.
Yeah. He gets stunned to buy some time off, and Kishi gets caught off guard. Outside the door, don't exactly know what the game plan was for that man. Maybe wanted to take a little bit of map control if possible, but he got surprised by the players that were holding in the back. Doxer as well starting to push up. Aster Army, these pushes are really not working out in their favor, and Wimp wins out that duel once again. Aster, they try to be proactive, they try to take the map control away from the opponents, but instead it worked against them. True Rippers, they were completely ready for this entire strategy. Wink, this time, is on the A site, trying to play as cautious, trying to play as safe as possible. He does manage to find one, but gets instantly traded. Kohli's still there too, but it's not going to matter. Kaizen is on a prowl. He's on a hunt.
Oh, nice one by Dominic, but there's still way too much heat on
That
him.
nade.
And the nade takes away a chunk of his HP.
Yeah, that was a Kobe, dude.
Straight up dunk on his head. I'm surprised he survived that. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he's gonna die the moment his feet touch the ground. Okay, maybe not now. He survives like 2 more seconds. Slid down without any footstep, and that's good. Whip takes care of it.
It's like a little slide. A nature slide. But yeah, I know it's a pretty bad joke, man. My bad. But yeah,
No,
moving on
it's fine,
forward.
It's fine. Don't
I mean,
apologize.
I
for
just
your
got
jokes.
reminded of my childhood where, you know, it's like wherever you see like a little slope, you just think that it's a slide and you just like, you know, try to slide it down. I don't know if you ever did that, but
I
as a
think we
kid, I
all
did that quite a lot of times. Yeah,
think
it's
we
kind of
all
fun. These are conversations getting a little out of hand for now.
Right
True
there.
Rippers, as they've managed to find the first round in the hand, so things are looking pretty good for them. A solid start. As I said, this is the attacking side of the map, so as expected, this team will probably dominate. But what it comes down to is how many rounds Aster Army are able to squeeze away in their defending side.
Right there.
This could have been a nice stun and burn combination from Aster Army. If Kohli used his fault line before Kishi used his molly, a lot of damage could have been dealt to this
Right
round.
there.
Aster this time though, their Killjoy utility is quite spread out. They've got the turret playing on contact to HP, meanwhile the Nana Swarms are on C. And unfortunately, none of them will be sprung this round because True Rippers is just spinning the doors around and making noise on A,
Here.
and now heading back. At the same time, you've got Wimp trying to make contact to its B, so that's gonna ring some alarm bells and draw out the rotations. But then Techno breaks the door, so now the confirmation of the presence is here. True Rippers, they've made no
30
hesitation,
seconds
no
left.
attempts to mask their presence on the B side, and they're being loud and boisterous about it.
Not too good, but quick taps are of course there. And that's going to fulfill his needs. True Rippers. It was an eco round for the opponents. Shouldn't really be that tough to try and gather up, to try and wrap it up, and that's what exactly going to happen. True Rippers, a flawless round followed up. 2 rounds on the board for them. Anti-eco as well secured.
Yeah, that's great, that's great. They need to have these anti-ecos
30
clean
seconds
as
left.
possible. I mean, the amount of thrifties we saw on Haven is not acceptable, man. At least not for Aster Army. You can't let True Rippers get away with 3 thrifties like that, so... Yeah, they better plug the holes quickly enough. Now that both the teams are on a buy of sorts, this could be a very good, very banger of a round.
Crips, in the first 2 rounds, it's been a huge change in the pace from Haven and Lotus.
Yeah.
True Rippers is really showing a lot of respect to Aster Army.
Here.
It is their map pick.
And Aster Army haven't really made any moves, quote-unquote, yet. They've changed their Killjoy utility quite a lot. Now all of it is placed towards the A site. And unfortunately for Doxter, he yet again won't see any action. At least not yet. True Rippers knock on the doors of C
Placing
site,
alarm bot.
hoping to draw rotations, and then they fall back after having Wimp place his alarm bot.
Silence across the board. Things looking quite quiet, at least for now. Not a lot of sound being made from each side, but finally some bullets were fired. And Aster Army, they're not really able to wrap their head around what exactly True Rippers is trying to pull off here.
Bomb buddy out.
3 sides to go. Presence is being showcased on every single side of the map. It's really tough to capitalize on. Kishi a little bit late to pop that flash. Will give his life away instead.
30 seconds
Kohli
left.
with this flank might just catch someone off guard, but he gives his entire presence away. And now the surprise
Player
element from
standing.
the entire round's gone. And True Rippers, they get another round secured.
Sheesh, they are all over the map, man. I mean, Aster Army don't even get to summon their retake potential together. They don't even get to set it up. While they're on the move, most of them get taken down, and there were plenty of missed opportunities. Kishi missed his flash. Kohli could have gotten that kill onto, I believe it was, who was it? I think he could have gotten a kill onto Kaizen, if I'm not wrong. But then again, opportunity's gone. And now Aster Army once again find themselves staring at the brutal end of an eco. This might be yet another round that True Rippers get in the bag.
And Disrupt's already got his ultimate cooked up.
Yeah, that's quite an impactful one. He probably won't need to use it this time. Unless he sees all 4 members of Aster Army battling down C Long.
He's about to
Whips in
see
for
it.
a root surprise.
Oh! He did manage to find one, but that's all he's going to get in his hands so far. They will be able to retrieve a Vandal. But at the cost of what? Giving their entire presence away? Definitely not that worth it. It is an eco round for True Rippers, so for an Aster Army, my bad. So they will try to squeeze away as many guns as possible. Try to bring a little bit of dent in the opponent's economy. Doxer was flashed out perfectly done from True Rippers. And now Aster Army with this flank of the 3 players. They've got 1 Vandal, 1 Spectre. Let's see how much they're able to pull off. Good flash from Phoenix. It's not going to be able to catch off anyone. Just a little bit of damage chipped away, but a great shot from Dominic. He opens 2 players up. He cracks 2 players' skulls up. And now Kazan in the close. He will line all of them up.
This whole game just comes down to timing and who has the knife out at the worst possible moment. It's comical at best and disastrous at its worst. Okay, so a lot of things to break down over here. First, Wimp dies early, but discovers the entire presence of Aster Army. And then what True Rippers do is have RU push all the way up towards heaven in case Aster Army decide to regroup towards defender spawn instead. They don't. What happens over there? Again, flashes upon flashes. Kishi snaps his fingers, Disrupt lets his flashpoint go ahead. And when both of them miss their opportunities, Kaizen comes up to line them all up. And it just seems like True Rippers have these lineup moments so often. We had RU mow down people on C Long in Haven. We have Kaizen doing it now on A side. Aster Army have been lining up for True Rippers a bit too often, but I'm not one to complain because we get to see some stylish multi-frags. So good for us, I guess. Good for the viewers. Not so good for Aster Army.
4-0. A really good way to start things off. And True Rippers, I like the fact that they're respecting their opponents, not just straight up running it down just like they did in the previous map. They're first trying to gather intel, they're showcasing their presence all across the map. Fiddling with the enemy mines, Aster Army, they're not really able to figure out what exactly or what sort of an execute they're going to be hit with.
Yeah. I mean, True Rippers aren't running it down as aggressively as they did in the previous games, but they are running all over the map. They head C with multiple members, go back down T-spawn, and then back towards A. And they've been doing the vice versa again.
Oh my god.
Huge. Is back, finally getting some value, but the moment he spawns again, Techno's there.
Yeah. Not a good news for that man. Seekers as well is going to spot out the player in the back, and he's being forced out of his comfort zone. And True Rippers, look at this team. All the time, this is what they do. They take one side control and then completely rotate all the way from the back lines. But unfortunately for them, RU was the man who had the spike, and he gets caught off guard. Spike is being down all the way on the spawn. Not a good news for True Rippers considering there's an operator holding in the back lines. How are they going to retrieve the spike back in the hands? Kazan's all the way on the C site. There's 2 players out in main. Just waiting for this man to peek out. He gets the spike in the hand. Coley, though, is trying to wrap up from the back. Maybe try and just suffocate them on the B side, but that's not going to be the case. Aster Army.
No, again they drop the spike. True Rippers have only one weakness, and Dominic will exploit it time and time again.
I do not understand. Why was the spike all by himself all the way on the spawn? That has to be a mistake, right?
So I think this is what Wimp had detected, right? So Wimp was always guarding C Long by himself. And when he saw the Phoenix run it back, he communicated to his teammates that, hey, we need to slay this guy. And so True Rippers adjust. They were moving A long, they break the doorway, enter B, kill the Phoenix, and they're like, nah, we're not gonna stick here, we're gonna go to C now. And in that moment of chaos, when they were conflicted between planting B and C, they kind of dropped the spike, and then they were on this awkward retrieval mission, which didn't really matter. Oh, Cody, big dangerous games. The guiding light is perfect. He gets doubled.
That is huge. Insane amount of value being found. And unfortunately, the flash is not going to find anyone. True Rippers, they're able to get their hands on the site. Rolling Thunder being used. The player in the back are going to be pushed back even more. Cosmic Divide's available in the hands of Dominic, but he's also getting pressured more and more by Techno. He's starting to overextend, and True Rippers, they've got a decent amount of map control. They're just forcing the players of Aster Army back and back over and over again. The operator's going to be nullified. No, Doxer, he connects that shot. It's not going to matter, though. Techno, once again, is able to retaliate and bounce back for his team. Last man Vink on the site will be stunned out by the Trailblazer. Nothing much can be done, and this man will be capitalized upon. True Rippers, a solid round. We talk about aggression, and I was saying that they're respecting their opponents, but inside this round, they just did the opposite.
Yeah, they just kind of flipped the script the moment we mentioned it, right? It's almost like they can hear us. The moment they hear us say something that they don't like, they're like, nah, time to change it up. They do move fearlessly, I'm gonna give it to them, but True Rippers are kind of pulling out a page out of Reckoning's playbook, where Reckoning would always push in towards C halls after they plant the spike, and True Rippers are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But that was just one round. Let's see if they manage to pull it off again.
Hopefully this map pick is not going to work against Aster, right? It's not going to. They've only managed to secure one round. That is a point of concern.
Time to hunt.
But you can also give them the benefit of doubt saying that it is an attacking-sided map. But at this point in time, he should have had at least 2 or 3 rounds secured. But let's see. Maybe as I say that, maybe this might just be the round where they will be able to find the momentum breaker. Anything can happen. We cannot predict future.
To some extent we can. I think I know what's going to happen in this round. Aster Army have used up quite a lot of their ability trying to find out information to its B and C. They see nothing. And now that the Seekers are invested, their doubts about True Rippers being towards the A side are confirmed. But unfortunately, all of them are shot down the moment they try to get out of the narrow B choke point. And now Aster Army, after the suspicions of True Rippers being towards A are confirmed, will try to crunch them. There's a 2-man stack coming in from the backlines. Meanwhile, the entirety of Aster Army is heading towards the A side. They're prepared to intercept True Rippers over here. But the question is, can they stop them despite having the information?
I don't like the alarm bot. Not a huge fan of that. RU has pinned himself in quite an interesting place. I think so somewhat. They know that there's a flank coming around. Showstopper was used, but within a blink of an eye, it's been completely deactivated. And Aster Army, they somehow get the grip back inside the round.
This is incredible. The Cosmic Divide allows Aster Army to move up running. It blocks off the entire sound cues of the footsteps that True Rippers might have heard. And even if they hear the footstep, the only person who can actually hear them are the people who are hiding towards the tree side. And what are they going to do? Peek out of the rotating doors to stop them? Nah, of course not. They're not going to do that. And then the only option they have is to just pop open the Showstopper, hoping to keep Aster Army at bay, hoping to scare them enough. But Aster Army don't give a damn. They rush in.
Interesting strats being used. The main reason why they got that round in the hand is because of that Cosmic Divide, right? But now they're not going to have that in the hand anymore.
Not just the Cosmic Divide, it's also the fact that Aster Army saw this A hit coming from a mile away. So they kind of had the opportunity to position themselves before True Rippers can get into post plants. Like, there was already a 2-man backstab. The rest of them were towards drop, and one of them was up on heaven near rope. So even if True Rippers try to take post plant positions, it will be within the site itself. Not anywhere outside it, not towards the breakable door, not towards the attacking spawn or anything, not towards rubble. All of them will be confined within the site, and at that point the crossfires aren't really that strong.
The main reason I feel like the flank was able to successfully be there was the alarm bot placement from Wimp. It was a little bit too on the edge. Maybe you should have planted that a little bit in the back. So when you are going to plant right on the edge of the A main side, the problem is the enemy will still have a line of sight onto the entire, or at least on some part of the A main, without even triggering that alarm bot. And I think so, if I'm not wrong, he was able to find value with that little space and that little gap being given away. I mean, there was one man in the back lines available, but it was a little bit too late. 2 players had already squeezed out. But if the alarm bot was positioned a little bit deeper, there could have been a quick adjustment from True Rippers. But once again,
look at this.
we don't exactly know.
This is a very good setup. Lockdown from True Rippers. I'm sorry, lockdown from Aster Army forces True Rippers back towards the mount of A, and then the run it back could have actually crunched them. But because they've dealt with Kishi's run it back, they can go ahead and plant after the lockdown expires.
Yeah.
True Rippers now have taken good post plants. You see, unlike the previous round, now none of the True Rippers members are in the actual site itself. They're all towards rubble or double door or towards tree. This is great.
Yeah. This is really good. The post plant positionings are there, and even the shots are now starting to connect on the skull. All the 4 players peek out at the same time. Indeed, it's going to be tough to prioritize one single target, right? And now Wink, the last man left to life, the final glimmer of hope, which will be extinguished. And True Rippers, they get their hands back inside the game. Momentum back in their favor. It's swinging once again. True Rippers, definitely a round they needed considering the way they lost the previous round. But we talked about this, right? A side is being hit over and over again from True Rippers. On the other hand, Aster Army, they were able to find a cure to it once. But the second time, they're not able to do so.
Yeah, that's what happens. You need to stop True Rippers from getting into those post-plant positions near tree. Once they do it, it's basically game over. And again, True Rippers this time have changed up their approach, right? At least in the first few rounds, we saw them make some noise C, make some noise B, and then hit A. But now, they're just straight up rushing it down. They're just adamant on pushing in. Which is a big statement. Oh, Kishi tried to make bold statements of his own, but was shot down by Ryu. A barrage of flashes descend upon True Rippers from every member of True Rippers, but still no value found. True Rippers fight their way back, brawling and fighting their way into the A side. Hell, they don't even need to plant the spike to win this.
Yeah. This was just an all-out brawl. Just go for the aim fights and hope for the best. And look at Wimp. I mean, his lurk didn't even come into play. He's just holding in the back lines, maybe looking to squeeze away. Doxer, position compromised because the turret came into play. And Kazan is somehow going to be able to connect that shot. A flawless round from True Rippers, and they're now really starting to dominate this entire battlefield. On the other hand, Aster Army, they have used a tactical timeout, but another one might just be needed.
Yeah. I mean, you can see what Aster Army are attempting over here. They tried to go in for those flanks, but then again, it's not gonna be much of a flank if every one of your members on the front line dies. I mean, who are you gonna crunch when you come in from the back at that point? True Rippers make the solution look so obvious and easy. Once again, a similar setup from True Rippers. They left Wimp towards C, like they've done in the past, and the rest of them tried to explore A. And Aster Army also tried to send 3 players down B. At least they get that orb. Oh, Wimp. Alarm bot in place. I think Doctor is not gonna survive this one. Wimp challenges it regardless. And now that he's cleared out C side for himself, Aster Army are unsure. Where's the actual hit coming?
Yeah. Exactly. Wimp's lurk has just played huge mind games. That's why they sent Dominic all by himself towards the A. And even now, Dominic's going to start a fall back. The spike plant did go down, but still, Aster Army, they don't exactly know what the spike plant is. Now they finally know. It's on the A site. That's why Dominic's going to peek out, and he gets rewarded with a kill. Argue being put to sleep. And Wimp wrapping up all the way from the back lines, but he's got no clue that Aster Army, they themselves were trying to wrap around a surprise Wink. But that entire wrap-up has been deactivated. Dominic got his hands on the Phantom. He might just be able to bring in a surprise element, and he is. Strikes down Techno. Rolling Thunder is available in hand to disrupt, but the trade game is so strong from True Rippers. Dominic was able to find a 3K, but he's not going to be able to secure the round for his team.
And that flank from Wimp just ruined everything for Aster Army. Because he was able to get into its defender spawn and see nobody over there, True Rippers realized that basically the entire defensive team is coming in from T-spawn. And look at the duality of this post plant. The last time True Rippers were playing from site, they were destroyed in the retake. And then I said the win condition for True Rippers is to hold on to tree. But in this round, that was the opposite. Because Wimp found out that everybody on Aster Army is towards rubble, True Rippers abandoned tree and play sites instead. The position which led to that downfall the last time is what wins them the round this time. Great adjustments.
And once again, heavy presence outside A. This team is just so stubborn. Always going for the similar type of stuff.
And yet, Aster Army can't counter them.
Obscuring vision.
I mean, so far they've been able to sniff out the lurk. Wimp's been shut down, so that's a huge shutdown, I would say. Considering now you don't really need to worry about your backlines, lurk, no more mind games can be played. It's going to be a straight up execute. The Rolling Thunder is going to be there even from the opponents. And the counter Rolling Thunder is really going to start to work out in the favor of Aster Army. Aryu is there to try and bounce back with his team. And now these two players are flipping the switch. Make it down to a 2-on-2. Cosmic Divide's available in the hands of Dominic, but this man single-handedly is able to have a lot of impact. And he's also now testing his crouch, but oh my god. The BM.
Yeah, the BM is unreal, dude. Sheesh. Finally a round that Aster Army are able to pull off. And this was desperately needed for them.
My ult's ready.
They've got the ultimates available on the back of this round as well.
Dominic's feeling himself. In the past 2 rounds, this man has had a huge impact. Maybe the most amount of impact so far, and yeah, he does. This Phoenix pick has really surprised me. And I don't really think so. He can't be said a lot just on the defending side so far. I think so we gotta let him cook on the attacking side as well.
Seekers invested. Should give away the position of True Rippers, but hey, it's completely fine because they paid out the Seekers early in the round and True Rippers can still play the mind games in the mid round. But so far, True Rippers don't seem to be in the mind for mood games. They are very adamant on staying B. They really want Aster Army to push out of either side of the map towards the extremity so they can punish that flank.
Right there.
A very patient approach from True Rippers in the last round of the South. We haven't seen this from them before.
Look at Kishi. He's primed with a flash in his hands. And as soon as he hears any sort of sound cue, I'm pretty sure he's just going to pop the flash, peek out, and try to get himself rewarded with a couple of kills. And that's what exactly happens, Kishi. What a fantastic spray down. And then with also a tremor to follow it up, this man might just get an ace, but Techno denies it. But what a wrap up from Aster Army. Make it an 8-4 half.
Sheesh, Aster Army coming to life in those last 2 rounds. I really thought that this was going to be a one-sided affair given the way the True Rippers was reading Aster Army like a book and to some extent even dictating the pace of the game. But then Kishi takes matters into his own hands. He's had enough of this nonsense.
A huge round from Aster Army. 8-4 half on Lotus. On defending side is not a bad half, I would say. It's a pretty solid start for yourself, and definitely you can start to make a comeback, but it's all going to boil down to this pistol round in the second half. And to find out what the outcome's going to be, you guys will need to wait up just after this short break.
Can't for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Can't for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
The wait's over, and we're back with the second half, where we're going to be seeing the sides being switched up, and now Aster Army on that attack. This is where the composition is truly going to shine.
Time out.
Let's see if they can find value out of it. They've gone for fighting all over the map right off the bat. True Rippers are keen to do it as well. Brawl towards B-Link, resulting in True Rippers getting away with that frag and scot-free too. Audio and Kaizen do take a little bit of damage, but it's fine. They can get healed up by Tech. No, never mind. They can't get healed up by Techno. He doesn't have regrowth.
Yeah. But it's fine, though. I mean, it's a pistol round. If you're able to find that initial dink, things can be changed or turned around in a matter of seconds. Paranoia being used. No one's going to be in that aura. So Docs are safe for now. I like what Aster Army are trying to bring over here. They're trying to bring contact and all across the map, just keeping that surprise factor available in the game. A good flash, but Disrupt still somehow manages to cut down the first man. And if Disrupt gets a lifeline, he will shut you down. He's dismantling the enemy team single-handedly. And now Wimp with only 5 HP is trying to pull something off. But that just buys enough amount of time for Disrupt to cook.
30 seconds left.
And to get the rotations over here. The silver lining is that Wink has the spike on his back, but where is he gonna go? There's barely enough time to make it to any other sides, and if he tries to fight his way over here, he's gonna get pounded. It's a kill onto Ryu, but then all the utilities in the world descend upon him. Bane Shell, Guiding Light, and then another Guiding Light on top of it. There's nowhere left to go, there's nowhere left to hide. The best that he can do is die over here so he doesn't get punished economically. But the fact that True Rippers get the pistol round is punishment enough. And now, Aster Army will repent in their sins.
Yeah, not a good news. Really not a good news. And considering they didn't even get a plant down, that means going for a force.
Even less money.
Yeah, is next to impossible. So this is really grim for Aster Army. They needed this pistol round, but hey, things can be flipped around. It's 9-4. Maybe when it's 10-4, things can start to shine a little bit more brighter on the side of Aster. They're going to go for a complete eco. Just classics and a couple of utils to maybe try and put a dent in the opponent's economy.
At least they get the orb. They need to get Kishi as many orbs as possible. They need to just feed it down to him. That's the only way that Aster Army can have some firepower over here to get that run it back as often as possible. They're giving it to... Yeah, I thought they were giving it to Cody first.
Turret
But Kishi gets
destroyed.
it again.
Bomb grenade out.
3 out of 6 in the bag.
Finished.
He dies once and he's gonna have 4. Maybe he can get a kill with the amount of smokes in here. Nah, Ryu doesn't get affected.
Enemy punished.
Oh. The slower approach is sort of working out for Aster Army, and now they're able to wrap up kills. A 3-on-3. Definitely in the favor of Aster Army. Considering it was just an eco round and they're still able to flip things around this well. There's a Vandal available in the hands of True Rippers. And if that Vandal goes down, it's going to hurt them even more. So True Ripper needs to make sure that the Vandal's not going to go down no matter what. Well, last man to go, it's going to be in the name of Doxer, and he might just be capitalized here. And he will be. True Rippers, they managed to secure 3 players for themselves and also that Vandal. So that's a good thing.
Team
I'm
8.
actually surprised that Case didn't get killed with a base shot. They could dodge it, but never mind. I mean, it's just an eco. So the fact that Aster Army get a spike mount itself is good enough.
Finished. Enemy punished.
I like the amount of confidence Wimp is able to showcase inside this entire series, right, Crips? I mean, this man is not fearing to take those peaks, usually on the lurks as well. It just seems like he's more confident inside this series. We've seen him on the attack even on the previous map area where he was always outside the B area. And now even inside this map, he's just doing something all by himself.
That was my bad. I thought Jason got the kill with the pain shell, but turns out he just shot down his opponent. Yeah, my bad. But he's gonna push it down towards A Rubble regardless. I mean, they're all the way towards the mouth of A main. I mean, at this range, the one-way smoke doesn't really do much for you. A counter one-way pushed up. They even stunned the sky, but it doesn't seem to bother them at all. Ryu covering his teammate Techno. And now the Trailblazer reveals the rest of the information. It's almost like they're forcing Aster Army to go towards B, but the turret is ready to make contact. Right there.
It's really interesting considering they have opted out for a complete bonus round, and Doxer was not able to slip by. That's just huge. They will also get their hands on Doxer's guns. Wimp should be able to secure that Phantom soon enough in his hands, and that's what exactly happens. Gets his hands on the Phantoms, and now it's a 5-on-3 scenario. Aster Army, things being flipped against them. And this is not what they expected. Kaizen in quite close quarters. He's going to try to deactivate Dominic's performance right here. Dominic being spotted, and True Rippers, they're really trying to play off the contact, but Aster, they somehow bounce back. The shorty in the close range will shut down Techno, and True Rippers, they're trying to bet their best to fight back here. Disrupt the last man alive, but this time is not going to be the glimmer of hope.
Aster Army, really good moves from them to take control of B upper as well as C link. They do that, and they have to then only worry about B main. That's all. By eliminating all the other areas where True Rippers can retake from, Aster Army really give themselves a lot of breathing room.
Last player standing. One enemy.
How was Aster Army even able to win that round? It was just an all-out brawl. Hope for the best and try and win your duels, and somehow Aster Army won those duels. True Rippers, on the other hand, they're definitely going to be quite disappointed after that round. It shouldn't have been thrown away like that. They had a huge man advantage to work for them. A tactical timeout is there from True Rippers. We're not really seeing a lot of heavy talking being done. They've got 10 rounds in the hand. All they need is 3 more rounds. Shouldn't be that tough, right?
On paper, it shouldn't be that tough. But then again, we've seen these games devolve into complete and utter chaos. Madness even, you might even call it. So, yeah. I don't think we can count off any of these teams yet. Aster Army do not want to go down to that lower bracket, and they will do anything to stop it. At least for now, True Rippers have the weaponry to fight back. They've even got the Rolling Thunder, so in case Aster Army try to go for one of those high-fidelity, high-speed attack rounds, True Rippers can stop them in their tracks. The one thing that can make a big amount of difference are the ultimate orbs. Look at the amount of ult points that Aster Army have. Holy Wink and Kishi, all of them just 1 point away from their ult each. You capture all the ult orbs on either side of the map and you will have a solid amount of ultimate stacked. That being said, True Rippers are really taking they're really taking C by force. Let 2 players towards B, and in case something goes wrong, even Kaizen's been close. But I think Kaizen's been detected. So, Aster Army discover the heavy presence from True Rippers towards C, and they decide to go elsewhere.
What interesting. Careful now. They've got 1 man outside B, which is Dominic. And he's just holding for overcommitments.
And there's no Cager util towards the B side, so if Dominic plays his cards right, he can actually sneak in. If not, at least he'll be No way!
Disrupt's watching that, and Kaizen is not expected in the close. And instant backups there on the C side. You can see both those players are now starting to push up, close and personal. 3 more to go. It's a 3-on-4 scenario in the favor of True Rippers. A-side presence is being given away, and Wimp is playing his cards right. He had showcased a lot of patience and caught Wink off guard. Techno as well is going to push up and catch Doxer. Not a good news for Aster Army. The players are now starting to fall off one after the other, and the shots from True Rippers are really starting to ring the bells.
That's the bell of death. And it now tolls for you. Summons the Grim Reaper as it does every time it chimes. True Rippers step closer towards victory. And this is going to be a clean one. But now Aster Army have a glimmer of hope. They've got 4 massive ultimates online. Though they may not use all of them in this round because, you know, no money, they can't afford to let True Rippers get to map point either. So what's it gonna be? They're doomed if they use them, they're doomed if they don't. This is the worst kind of situation to be trapped in.
I mean, Kishi's got the signature Vandal in his hands. He's trying to use a Vandal hero strat. Let's see if he works out. Running back was used, no value being found. That's quite unfortunate. Pain Shield's gonna be exactly on the point. The timing on that Pain Shield is just impressive. Look at Wink, the amount of HP this man's got left over. Not a lot of HP. Kaizen's trying to push up close. He's got the Phantom in the hand. So, of course, it will be quite impactful unless some incredible shots are being hit from the opponents. Then it can change the entire outcome of the situation. But so far, Kishi is the man who's got the supreme weapon in his hands. He's got the prime weapon. Let's see how much he's able to get the value with that one.
Nice shot by Wing. First kill they find towards B. Seek is invested too. This should give True Rippers a good idea about where they are for the pace. That means True Rippers can't stop them even if they have info. But look at Techno. He's pushing into the A side through the firewall just to make sure that he has control. They're channeling Aster Army towards the stairs region. I think they have information, but Disrupt's not looking in the right direction. They have an idea, but they might be off with the timing. And Kohli might just go for the knife. Nah, he's not a man of culture. He tries to be respectful. It's nice, but that now results in Techno tearing them apart.
Just rips him apart. True Rippers We thought on defense it will be a little tough, but this team, they're not going to crumble down under any sort of pressure. On the other hand, Aster Army, they're definitely cracking under the pressure. You can see that. Coley, I mean, he was able to sneak in quite deep. He did find the first man. The opening was there, but when you've got a man like Techno just feeling himself, it's really tough to just shut him down and get the side control.
Yeah, and I really thought the True Rippers were aware that there's a gap towards Aster, so I guess they did expect one member from Aster to move in, but not that soon. Regardless, they don't even need lines of sight to kill their opponents.
You are
Man.
divided.
One major info gathering agent taken down. And Wing didn't even use any of his utility, so he had so much left, and Whip on fire! He's farmed up his lockdown, he can counter the other one. And Aster Army, after waiting so long to get Doctor his lockdown online, they can't capitalize on it now. At least they broke it.
Lockdown was huge. Yeah. Counter lockdown was insane. Rolling Thunder as well being invested. True Rippers, they're really just desperate to get this round in their hands, and it shouldn't be that tough to get it as well. Doxer, a bunch of utilities just being forced on his way. On his face, he's blinded, and he will die to a boombot in the end. True Rippers, a great way to close out the first series of the day in their favor. It's a 2-0 clean sweep.
Clean sweep from True Rippers gets them their win in the first game of Valorant Challenger South Asia playoffs. They played fearlessly, and they finished off this game faster than a Hyundai car.
Truly, they are happy. Every single player is happy. On the other hand, Aster Army, they don't know what exactly went wrong. Their cards didn't fall in the right place. In the end, they just started getting ran over. And that's just what happens when your opponent has a little bit more leeway over you. That edge over you. He's not going to respect you. He'll just straight up try to run you down, because he knows if a little bit of moments will be given away, even if a little bit of a sigh of relief is given away to the opponent, they will try to break your momentum down. And True Rippers made sure that time isn't given away.
Yeah, and unlike Haven, True Rippers seemed in control of this game throughout. They held the reins of the rounds every single time, and they were making Aster Army dance to their whims.
Still though, Aster Army, they showcased a great performance. Wink himself, this man was able to pop off pretty well today. He was able to put up those numbers on the board. And considering he's such a young fellow, I'm pretty sure this man's future is really bright. But as we all know, this is the playoffs, so there's going to be lower brackets as well. So this team's not kicked out yet. They've still got one more lifeline left over. With that being said, it's time for us to push to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track,